Most people don't realize that loving someone with an addiction can slowly reshape your entire emotional world. You begin by trying to help, but over time you may feel exhausted, confused, or even resentful. The relationship starts revolving around the addiction instead of the connection you once shared. Addiction within a relationship creates deep emotional and mental strain for both partners. Yet psychology also shows that with empathy, structure, and the right support, it is possible to navigate this challenge in a healthier way. By the end of this, you will understand how to support your partner without losing yourself, how to communicate effectively, and how to recognize when professional help or stronger action is necessary. The first and most important step is gaining real understanding. Addiction is not simply a bad habit or a lack of willpower. It changes the brain's reward system and decision-making processes. Substances or compulsive behaviors overstimulate dopamine pathways, which are responsible for motivation and pleasure. Over time, the brain begins to prioritize the addictive substance or behavior above relationships, responsibilities, and even self-preservation. This is why promises are broken and patterns repeat. It is not because your partner does not care at all. It is because their brain has been conditioned to seek relief or stimulation in a powerful, automatic way. Understanding this does not excuse harmful behavior, but it helps reduce personalizing it. Instead of asking, "Why am I not enough?" you begin asking, "What is this addiction doing to their brain and behavior?" That shift creates space for empathy without self-blame. At the same time, empathy must be balanced with boundaries. One of the biggest mistakes partners make is confusing support with tolerance. When unacceptable behavior goes unchecked, it can unintentionally enable the addiction. The brain learns that there are no serious consequences, so the cycle continues. Clear boundaries protect both you and the relationship. This might mean refusing to cover up mistakes, declining to provide financial support for destructive habits, or leaving the room when conversations become aggressive. Boundaries are not punishments, they are guidelines for what you will and will not accept. Ask yourself honestly, what behavior has crossed your limits but you've been afraid to address? Avoiding conflict may feel easier in the moment, but silence often increases long-term damage. Open communication is another pillar of stability. Many couples dealing with addiction fall into patterns of accusation and defensiveness. One partner feels betrayed or hurt, while the other feels judged or misunderstood. Conversations turn into battles instead of bridges. Effective communication requires calm timing and careful language. Instead of saying, "You always ruin everything," try expressing how specific actions make you feel. When you focus on emotions rather than blame, the nervous system is less likely to become defensive. This increases the chances of a productive conversation. There is also something powerful about creating a safe space for honesty. When someone feels constantly attacked, they hide more. When they feel heard, even while being held accountable, trust has a chance to rebuild. The goal is not to ignore reality, but to address it in a way that invites cooperation instead of resistance. However, while you focus on communication and boundaries, there is one area many people neglect: their own well-being. Supporting a partner with addiction can slowly drain your emotional energy. You might start canceling plans, neglecting hobbies, and isolating yourself from friends. Self-care is not selfish in this context, it is necessary. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which affects mood, sleep, and even immune function. If you are constantly in crisis mode, your body pays the price. Taking care of yourself may mean exercising regularly, maintaining social connections, or seeking personal therapy. It may mean having one evening a week that is entirely yours. When you replenish your emotional reserves, you become more resilient and less reactive. Pause and reflect for a moment. When was the last time you did something purely for your own restoration without guilt? That answer can reveal whether you've been slowly disappearing inside the relationship. Professional assistance is often essential in cases of addiction. Love and willpower alone rarely are enough to break deeply rooted patterns. Therapists, counselors, and structured recovery programs are trained to address the psychological and behavioral components of addiction.
Encouraging your partner to seek help should be done with compassion, not ultimatums delivered in anger. You can express concern and emphasize that support is available. You can offer to attend sessions together if appropriate. At the same time, you cannot force someone to change if they are unwilling. Sometimes partners resist professional help out of shame or fear. Addiction often carries guilt, and admitting the need for help can feel like admitting failure. Reframing treatment as strength rather than weakness can make a difference. While pursuing help, fostering hope is also important. Recovery is rarely linear. There may be progress followed by setbacks. Celebrating small victories reinforces positive behavior and strengthens motivation. The brain responds to recognition and encouragement. However, hope must be realistic. Blind optimism without accountability creates false stability. Balanced encouragement means acknowledging effort while still expecting responsibility. There is another difficult truth that must be addressed. Despite empathy, communication, boundaries, and professional support, some situations become unsafe or emotionally destructive. Recognizing when to step back or separate is not betrayal. It can be an act of self-preservation. If addiction leads to repeated emotional harm, financial instability, or physical danger, protecting yourself becomes the priority. Seeking external guidance from professionals, trusted family members, or support groups can provide clarity during these moments. It is important to remember that you are not responsible for curing someone's addiction. You can support, encourage, and set boundaries, but the decision to recover must ultimately come from them. Carrying the belief that you alone can fix the problem will exhaust you. At its core, dealing with addiction in a relationship is about balance. Balance between empathy and firmness, between hope and realism, between supporting them and protecting yourself. Love can be powerful, but love without structure becomes fragile. When empathy is combined with boundaries and professional guidance, the relationship has a stronger foundation to navigate recovery. If you are currently in this situation, know that your mixed emotions are valid. You can feel compassion and frustration at the same time. You can love someone deeply and still demand healthier behavior. These feelings do not cancel each other out. The most important question is this: are both of you working towards healing, or is only one person carrying the weight? Honest reflection on that question can guide your next steps. Supporting someone through addiction requires courage, patience, and clarity. It also requires remembering that your well-being matters just as much as theirs. When both partners commit to growth, healing becomes possible. When only one does, difficult decisions may be necessary. If this perspective resonated with you, share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Conversations around addiction and relationships are complex, and your voice may help someone else feel less alone. And if you value thoughtful discussions about human behavior and emotional health, consider staying connected for more insights that support stronger, healthier relationships.